So the takeover of Alexander really started with the fact that there was a great need for more faculty, more diversity at the colleges. And I think for a long time the students had been aware of it, but all of a sudden it became very clear that the students really wanted more faculty of color at the colleges, and they just were not here. And so it took time before the takeover of Alexander really came about, and I think a lot of student groups met together. First, the student groups were meeting independently, having conversations, the Black students, the Asian students, the Latino students, but then they came together and realized they had the same concerns about diversity at the colleges. And so then basically they said, well, you know, let's talk about an action that might bring about some change. And I believe that they all tried having conversations at their own colleges, but eventually they decided that the takeover of Alexander was a very symbolic way of demonstrating that the students were very serious about these issues and that this was something that lots of groups cared about. So in essence, when you look at who was in the takeover of Alexander, it was primarily Latino students, but there were also Black students, Asian students, and white students in there, because the Jewish group also felt
wanted
very much that this was their issue, that social justice was an issue that they're concerned about. And so it drew together a very interesting component of students, and it drew them together in a way that the action resulted, the result of the action was takeover of Alexander Hall. And it's interesting because, you know, students talk amongst themselves, and they came together, they drew this conclusion, and they decided they would do it. What's amazing about the takeover of Alexander Hall is that the president of Pomona was very gracious about the student takeover. Of course, our students were not crazy. For example, they didn't go on the rampage and break all the windows. They didn't throw chairs out of the second floor. They didn't pillage the place. They were respectful. And one of the things that was very clear was that they had very serious issues. And because they had very serious issues, they were respectful. And so that brought about a very different behavior from the administration.